So you know those book talk recommendations that have spice levels in the corner? They also need to add age levels, especially when the spice level is like 0. Book Talk recommended to me Once Upon a Rose by Gabrielle Landi from the Gallimere Chronicles. It's the second book in the series, and it's supposed to be a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I'm going to tell you point blank, it is not really a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It is an arranged fake marriage between two consenting adults to basically get past a curse. The curse is not involved in animal transformation. It does not involve enchanting the entire palace or anything that you normally find inside a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It is just a man and a woman. The man has a bad reputation for being a recluse. The woman is being pressured by her father to take a certain role and by another man in the village to take a certain role. The love interest is being pressured by a magician to marry his daughter, who doesn't even seem to be interested inside him, and only show up for one chapter at the very end of the book. So the actual conflict doesn't really exist. The communication between the two characters is actually pretty good, considering that he is under a silencing curse by the magician. The disappointing part is that there is basically no conflict. There is no misconceptions. The only thing that could possibly be a conflict is his guilt of not telling her immediately about the curse, but at the same time, the curse prevents him from telling her about the curse. So the disappointment inside this book, there's no conflict. It is straight up just a romance, and even though it's a romance that has two adults and no smut, it is also a romance. And the romance makes you think that they are teenagers at times. Not just any teenagers, budding preteens who don't know how to think straight when it comes to romance. So, on the bare bones, this is actually a very good story, but it needs to be fleshed out a great deal. There are scenes that are missing. Like, I would have loved to have seen more conflict and resolution when it comes to her stalker, when it comes to her father, when it comes to the magician, when it comes to the girl he's supposed to be marrying because of the magician. There was nothing when it came to that. There was one scene and done. So that was a disappointment. The fun, cute moments, though, were plenty there. It was not a bad book at all, but it just wasn't meant for adults. It was meant for children. But if it was fleshed out, it could work quite well with adults, and you still don't need the smut to make it a viable romance. So this is a book that I would recommend for anyone who is 8 years old and older. You could even have it to a 5-year-old without any problems, but I'm pretty sure the 5-year-old would not be able to read it completely. So, yeah, Once Upon a Rose is a good book. It is not a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It is an arranged fake marriage turned real, and there's very little conflict. That's honestly not a bad book. So yeah, give it to your daughters. It's all good. See you next time.